Guillermo Sebastián Coria, nicknamed El Mago, is a retired professional tennis player from Argentina who was runner-up at the 2004 French Open and a former world number 3. He was named after tennis champion and compatriot Guillermo Vilas. Career: as a junior, Coria won the boys' singles title at the 1999 French Open by beating his friend and fellow Argentine, David Nalbandian, 6-4, 6-3 in the final. 1 month later at the 1999 Wimbledon Championships, Coria and Nalbandian teamed up to win the boys' doubles title by beating Todorov and Jarko Niemann, 7-5, 6-4. Coria turned professional in 2000, finishing 2003, 2004, and 2005 as a top 10 player. He was one of the fastest players on the Association of Tennis Professionals Tour, consistently showing great performances in clay court tournaments. His playing style was that of a counter-puncher. Coria tested positive for nandrolone in April 2001, after a match in Barcelona against Michel Kratochvil. The news of Coria's positive test was publicly revealed on July 10, 2001. Coria was initially banned from tennis for 2 years, starting in August 2001, and was fined $98,565. Coria claimed that the only supplement that he was taking was a multivitamin made by a New Jersey supplements company. His family employed a private lab to test the multivitamin, which was found to be contaminated with steroids. In December 2001, the ATP refused to acquit Coria, but reduced his ban from 2 years to 7 months, which meant that he would be free to continue with his tennis career in March 2002. Coria sued the New Jersey Supplements Company for more than $10 million in lost prize money and endorsements and settled after the third day of the trial for an undisclosed amount. As a result of the 7 months during which Coria was banned from playing tennis, his world ranking dropped from world number 32 to world number 97. 2002 was, therefore, a rebuilding year for Coria, and he finished 2002 ranked at world number 45. Coria signaled his arrival as a world-class clay court player in 2003 by reaching the finals in Buenos Aires, where he lost a tight best-of-3 sets match to Carlos Moya, and at the Monte Carlo Masters, where he lost in 2 straight sets to Juan Carlos Ferrero. Coria went on to win his first Masters Series title at the 2003 Hamburg Masters by defeating Augusta Nkairi in the final in 3 straight sets. At the 2003 French Open, Coria defeated Andre Agassi in 4 sets in the quarter-finals, before suffering an upset loss to Martin Verkerk and his booming serves in the semi-finals. In July 2003, Coria was increasingly establishing himself as the new king of clay by winning 3 clay court tournaments in 3 weeks. The Mercedes Cup in Stuttgart, the Generali Open in Kitzbühel 1/4 Hell and the Orange Prickham Open in Sopot. He won these 3 tournaments without dropping a set, dishing out 5 bagels and 8 breadsticks in the process. In 2004, Coria won the clay court tournament in Buenos Aires and reached the final of the 2004 Nasdaq 100 Open on hard court, where he faced Andy Roddick. From the first set onwards, Coria was visibly hurt by pains in his back that later turned out to be kidney stones. Coria still managed to win the first set 7-6, but Roddick won the next 2 sets 6-3, 6-1, before Coria retired during the first game of the 4th set. 3 weeks later, Coria defeated Rainer Shah 1/4 TTLER in 3 straight sets in the final of the Monte Carlo Masters to win his second Masters Series title. Coria had now won 5 consecutive clay court tournaments and had gone 26 consecutive matches unbeaten on clay. On May 3, 2004, Coria reached a career-high ranking of world number 3. In attempting to defend his title at the Hamburg Masters, Coria increased his clay court winning streak to 31 matches by reaching the final, where he lost to world number 1 Roger Federer in 4 sets. At the 2004 French Open, Coria reached the final, defeating Nicolai Davydenko, Juan Marc Naco, Mario Arnaia and Nicolas Escuda Copyright, before beating former world number 1, Carlos Moya, in the quarter-finals and British serve and volleyer, Tim Henman, in the semi-finals. but he was unexpectedly defeated by unseeded compatriot Gastón den Gaudio in an unprecedented all-Argentine final, 6-0, 6-3, 4-6, 1-6, 6-8. Coria had won the first two sets convincingly and was in control of the third set at 4-4 and 40-0 up on serve, before Gaudio broke Coria's serve and went on to take the third set. Coria then succumbed to leg cramps early in the fourth set, and was barely able to move at times, with many of his serves in the fourth set not even reaching the net. Despite this, Coria still managed to get the advantage at several stages of the fifth set, leading by a break of serve on no fewer than 4 separate occasions, including twice serving for the championship at 5-4 and 6-5. The latter game saw him narrowly miss the line with attempted winners on 2 championship points, making him the only male player in the Open era to lose a Grand Slam singles final having held a championship point. Many fans and pundits agreed that Coria was never the same player after the loss. Coria surprised some people by reaching the first grass-court final of his career at Herzogenbosch, losing the final to Michael Laudrup. Incredibly, this was only 2 weeks after the devastation of losing the French Open final. Coria then went on to defeat Wesley Moody in a 5-set match in the first round of Wimbledon, which took nearly 3 days to complete after the start of the match, as a result of rain and poor scheduling. Coria lost in 4 sets in the second round to Florian Mayer and got a bad injury to his right shoulder during the match. In August 2004, Coria had surgery on his right shoulder. He returned to the ATP Tour in November for the Masters Cup, where he performed poorly. Coria appeared in 5 finals after the 2004 French Open defeat and lost 4 of them, the most famous of which being the 5th set tiebreak loss to the rising king of clay, Rafael Nadal, in the 2005 Rome Masters final. He had led 3-0 with a double break and game point in the deciding set. The only final Coria won was on July 31, 2005, when he won in Umag, Croatia, defeating Carlos Moya in the final. Afterwards, Coria joked that the small tournament was considered a 5th Grand Slam in his family, because his wife Carla hails from Croatia. Coria had a surprisingly consistent 2005 season, where he was one of only 3 players to reach the 4th round or better at every Grand Slam, the others being Roger Federer and David Nalbandian. Despite having a consistent season in 2005, during his tournament victory in Umag he started to suffer from the service yips, a psychological condition that renders a tennis player unable to hit the ball at the correct moment when serving. At first, it wasn't really noticeable, but it really came to light during the 2005 US Open, when Coria served a combined 34 double faults in his 4th round win over Nicola S. Massa and his quarter-final loss to Robbie Ginpré. Against Ginpré, having already saved 5 match points, Coria was serving to take the match into a 5th set tiebreaker, when 2 consecutive double faults from deuce gave Ginpré the win. As the 2005 season drew to a close, Coria's form started to dip alarmingly as a result of the high number of double faults he was serving in an increasing number of his matches. Coria lost 9 of his last 11 matches of 2005. Some pundits have also speculated that his 3 losses in finals to the emerging Nadal may have hit his confidence worse than the loss to Gaudio. Coria's service yips got increasingly worse in 2006, although he still managed to reach the 3rd round of the 2006 Australian Open and managed a victory over Novak Djokovic at the 2006 Miami Masters without serving any double faults. At the 2006 Monte Carlo Masters, Coria came back from 1-6, 1-5 down to defeat Paul-Henri Mathieu, despite serving 20 double faults in the match. Coria then defeated Nicolas Kiefer, despite serving 22 double faults, but he was then easily beaten by Rafael Nadal in the quarterfinals. After Monte Carlo, Coria wins generally became fewer and further between, although he did manage a semi-final in Amersfoort in July 2006. Coria withdrew from the 2006 French Open and 2006 Wimbledon as he attempted to sort out marital problems with his game, and an elbow injury. In August 2006, he hired Horacio de la P ± as his tennis coach. At the 2006 US Open, Coria retired in his first-round match against Ryan Sweeting after just 5 games. It would be 17 months before Coria played a match on the ATP Tour again. Coria made his return in a challenger in Belo Horizonte, Brazil on October 22, 2007. He lost the first set 3-6 to fellow Argentine Juan Pablo Brzezicki and subsequently retired with a back injury. He had been leading in the first set 3-1. Coria finally returned to the main ATP circuit in the Movistar Open in Chile on January 28, 2008. He showed positive signs of recovering his form, but was still defeated in the first round by Pablo Cuevas, 4-6, 6-3, 3-6. In February, in his second ATP circuit appearance of the year, Coria defeated Italian qualifier Francesco Aldi, 6-4, 7-5. It was his first ATP victory in 19 months. As a result of Andy Roddick's withdrawal from the 2008 French Open due to a back injury, Coria made his first Grand Slam appearance since the 2006 US Open, taking the place of the American. He faced Tommy Robredo, the 3-time quarter-finalist and 12th seed, in the first round. Coria was defeated in 4 sets, 7-5, 4-6, 1-6, 4-6, but Coria's performance led to some optimism, even from Coria himself, who was close to forcing a 5th set. Coria never managed to recover from the service yips that damaged his game and kept his ranking hundreds of places below his once top 10 position. On April 28, 2009, he announced his retirement from professional tennis, saying that he didn't unregistered trademark feel like competing anymore. Playing style, Coria was known as a very solid baseliner and an excellent clayerter. He had excellent speed, penetrating and balanced ground stroke capabilities and frequently utilized drop shots. His comparatively weak serve was noted during the late stages of his career, where Coria would make numerous double faults, often resorting to hitting a severely underpowered second serve to avoid this. Whilst his small size and relative lack of power meant he didn't have any big, standout weapons, Coria had excellent consistency and court craft which enabled him to become a top player, especially on clay courts. Private life, Coria attended preschool with David Nalbandian in Argentina. He is a well-known River Plate fan. Coria married Carla Francavilla on December 27, 2003. They have a son named Thiago, born on April 12, 2012. A daughter, Defina, was born on October 4, 2013. As of 2010, Coria was coaching his younger brother Federico. Equipment, Coria used the Prince 03 Tour. His racket was strung with Luxilin Big Banger Original 16-string. His clothing sponsor was Adidas. Major finals = Grand Slam finals = Singles 1 = Masters Series finals = Singles 7 Career finals = Singles = Wins, runners-up. Singles performance timeline, LQ = lost in qualifying draw, WR = win ratio, the ratio of tournaments won to those played. A = did not play in tournament. References. External links: Guillermo Coria at the Association of Tennis Professionals, Guillermo Coria at the International Tennis Federation, Guillermo Coria at the Davis Cup.